At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, Tier1RacingLeague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at EasyDayBot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, Tier1RacingLeague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing THDesigns, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, THDesigns' dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydayBot.com.
New to Tier 1? First-time customers get 30% off your... Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, Tier1RacingLeague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
THDesigns, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, THDesigns' dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, T1RacingLeague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week.
Welcome to Fontana, California, home of high speeds, wide lanes, and one of the most unique challenges in all of oval racing. This is Auto Club Speedway, and tonight it hosts, since its opening in 1997, Auto Club has been the proving grounds for some of the sport's greatest, and with its aging surface and 5-wide potential, making it a fan favorite, and man's precision, patience, and power. And tonight, the stars of the Tier 1 Truck Series are ready to rise to the occasion. Tonight, I'm Zach Woods, and behind the scenes, producer Brett Bullard. We both are ready to bring you every angle, every story, and every moment that makes this series one of the premier series in sim racing. From tire strategy to fuel mileage to gutsy moves at over 180 miles per hour, this is what Tier 1 racing is all about. Get ready! Qualifying is happening right now, and this is Tier 1 Truck Series 160 from Auto Club Speedway. It's time to go racing. Welcome everyone to the show. We are happy to have you here at Tier 1 Studio. My name again is Zach Woods, and you are looking at the end of practice for some of these drivers here at Auto Club Speedway. Really excited to be able to give you guys all the action. One of the ways we are able to do this is because of our great sponsors and partners here at Tier 1, one being Tier 1 Setup Shop. Racers, it's time to level up. We're proud to introduce Tier 1 Setup Shop. It's a fresh new name in the iRacing world that's about to give more than just fast setups for you. Our mission, simple, help you perform at your best on the track and feel supported off of it. At Tier 1, we're not here to drop a setup and simply disappear. We believe in feedback, collaboration, and community. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping into open sets, your input helps us improve every build. We're launching with a competitive setup for Truck Series, for Cup Series, late models, mods, legends, and more. And if you got any questions or need adjustments or just want to talk racing, we're here. Real support, real people, not to visit Tier 1 Setup Racers. Tier 1, this is going to end. We're taking a glimpse at Thomas Adams. We're also going to take a glimpse later on here at our in-race reporter for tonight's event. That will be Eric Howard. He will be sporting a scheme that you guys are going to reporters all throughout the field so that they can give their perspective on the racing action. And here at Auto Club, certainly for a playoffs, he's no points to the good, no points to the bad. He is the line that all these drivers are aiming for. Guys like Dave Harrington in the 60 Sesh and Nolan Milnes, who are looking to capitalize on tonight's action in order to make their way into Tier 1. Trying to get a look at some of these drivers as they make their way around this tricky racetrack. Can't get too close to the wall on qualifying. You're going to scrub off some speed. Here is a look at our in-race reporter, Eric Howard. We're going to talk to him. Shop on the side of rip together. They can garner a lot of speed off of turns close to looking to really try to get back that low line safe tonight. This is going to make tonight's race super. Rube, Kevin Glenn 8th. So right off the bat, we see Rube, Kevin Glenn 8th. So right off the bat, we see the heavy hitters this few weeks in order to get the best pit P3 with a 40.23 about what's going on with Tier 1 Setup Shop. I also want to make you known to the Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program. Are you all giving your community a real benefit? Join the Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program today. We'll give you a custom promo code that gives your viewers or drivers 10% off of every setup they buy. That excludes subscriptions. And for every setup sold using your code, you earn $1. That's real money in your pocket just for promoting something your audience already needs. Whether you're racing, commentating, or building up a league, this is a no-brainer way to support your content and grow with us. Visit tier1setupshop.com or message us on Discord to get started. Pretty cool sponsorship program from the title sponsor of tonight's event. As things are dwindling down, we're going to give you the race info for tonight here at Auto Club. 71 degrees outside, and you have a slight 7-mile-per-hour wind coming in that could affect the balance of these trucks. As mentioned earlier, it is a 2-mile racetrack, 97-degree track temperature tonight, and these drivers are going to try to focus on putting together great laps around this track that is a lot of fun. A lot of driver personalities tend to come out here at Auto Club. Let's bring up our in-race reporter for tonight, Eric Howard. Eric, it's Zach Woods up the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Eric, you are going to roll off P17 tonight. So you're going to be very interesting. You're going to be very interesting follow to the stages tonight, or lap 20 and lap 40. What do you got to do to put that 76 machine up in the spot where you can gain some points and then eventually contend for a good finish tonight?
I ain't gonna lie to you, I was hoping for a lot higher qualifying position. I'm shocked that I'm dead last. I thought I followed the line right. The only thing I do is make sure I stay behind the draft. Lose your draft in this.
Absolutely.
You burn your tires up staying behind someone, so you're watching your tires. And to me, fuel and tires is going to be the name of this game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair, Eric, you were only, I would say, you're only, let's say, a 10th off from 12th. From really 11th on through the end of the field, they're really close in lap time. So there's certainly a lot of potential here. So don't get discouraged on the qualifying. It's not where you start, man. It's where you finish. So up here in the booth, we're going to be rooting for our in-race support.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully you'll see me up there top 10. I'm going to say within the 15 laps. That's my goal. So we'll see.
All right, good goal tonight. Eric, we'll meet you again at the end of stage 1.
All right, man. Take it easy.
That's Eric Howard, driver of the number 76 machine. He's going to try to put on a show for us here in the booth and for all of you watching, because starting last, he's got a lot of trucks to pass in order to make his way up through the field. That should be a fun little watch through tonight's event. These drivers are making their way around the racetrack, making some last-minute adjustments probably to racing lines, trying to get used to the draft. And you're going to see a lot of that cutting through on the logo there on the front stretch, trying to maximize lap time and stay in the draft of the guy in front of you. You're going to be seeing dodging and weaving through these guys trying to break the drafts of folks behind them. It's going to feel like Indianapolis at some times with these trucks as they move through the field. And again, like I said at the top of the show, driver personalities at this racetrack really come to life. You're going to see guys that are super comfortable gripping the fence, no regard to tire wear. They just want to go fast and try to break away from the draft as early as possible. You're going to see some of those guys very early take advantage of that. And then you're going to see some more patient drivers that are willing to grit their teeth, sacrifice front end lap time, and hug that white line all the way around the racetrack here at Auto Club. That's not out of bounds, so you can go below it and maximize your lap time, especially through the tri oval. Later on in the run, those will be the guys coming up through the field. Hopefully they're not too far behind so that they can gain some stage points and eventually put themselves in a position to get the win tonight. A lot of great competition here at Auto Club. We got about a minute left between now and when we begin. I want to talk to you about a sponsor that we would see on the top of the 22 machine, Jordan Baroob, and that would be Easy Daybot. Easy Daybot, stream smarter, chat better, and grow your community with Easy Daybot. This innovative Twitch and Discord bot takes interaction to the next level, keeping your audience engaged and connected. Don't just stream, build a community with Easy Daybot. Don't just listen to us talk about it when you can try it today. And then on the rear quarter panel of Baroob's car, you also have AdminBoxx. AdminBoxx is built by iRacers for iRacers to use in league and hosted races. The goal? To make race control as easy as possible. Each AdminBoxx connects via USB and features a pre-programmed commands. No key binding necessary for race control. The AdminBoxx community is made up of over 150 leagues and many members that all have a common mission to run nice clean races and help each other out. That's Easy Daybot and AdminBoxx, and you can see them both on the driver of the number 22 machine, Jordan Baroob. Justin Sumner wrapping up some last-minute adjustments here during warm-up. As we transition out of this session into what will be the race session, we're going to work on getting the qualifying results up on the screen and ready for you. If you give us a moment to transition from one race session to the other, we're going to be able to get that information on the screen here for you. Bam! Brett Bullard up there in production making good work of this. Greg Wood Jr. captures the pole here at Auto Club with Caleb Collins, TTR teammate, to his outside. Two guys that we're not really used to seeing up front in terms of at least the last few weeks of action, making their names known. Jordan Baroob is followed by Nolan Milnes there in P3 and 4. Fifth is Dakota Ramsdale with 6th Justin Sumner. 7th is Eddie Baker with 8th Kevin Coleman. Matthew Erickson will roll off 9th tonight with Scott Milliken in P10. Paul Owens and Dave Harrington round out row 6 in 11th and 12th. Jared Hayes rolls off 13th. 14th will be Jumpman Connor Elliott in the number 1 machine. Thomas Adams in the 25 will be in the 15th position to start. And Bill Sleep 16th for that ride. Expect Bill to work his way up through the field as he does most weeks. And then our in-race reporter will roll off last on the grid, Eric Howard, driver of the 76 machine. These trucks are going to get ready now for their formation lap, and we are so excited here at Tier 1 Studio to bring you some action that will include stage racing here tonight. Stages tonight are here on the screen, lap 20, and then stage 2 will take place at lap 40. At the conclusion of those laps, the field will be frozen, points will be tallied, we'll rack them up and set them off again. But in the meantime, we got some racing to do here, folks. The push for the playoffs is just around the corner for these guys. Every position matters. Every win now means more than ever before. And we are going to see some great competition here at Auto Club. I'm so excited for tonight's action. Auto Club definitely is one of my favorite racetracks to race at, and now to commentate it here with Tier 1 Studios. Such a great honor. I want to thank the guys up there for giving me an opportunity to do this for you. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race as the drivers are getting ready to go. 2 by 2 they will come. Titletown Racing teammates Greg Wood Jr. and Caleb Collins will roll off first and second for tonight's event. We got the flagman up in the stand with the flag in his hand. Greg Wood Jr. will lead the field, thundering across the start-finish line. Let's get going. Here from Auto Club Speedway, Truck Series action. And right away, we see the driver of the 83 move to the inside. That's Dakota Ramsdale. He is making sure not to waste any time flying to the inside of Greg Wood Jr. 3 wide for second place as Junior's going to try to defend all 3 lanes of traffic. Caution is out as we do have a wreck towards the back end of this field. Matthew Erickson involved, a couple other guys struggling to get their trucks rolling. Let's see what happened. Barreling down in turn 1, we already see chaos happening. Ooh, Erickson blinked away, blinked right in front of the Superfloat machine of Jared Hayes. At least that's what happens here on my end. No, that's not a blink. Oh, look at this. Paul Owens is going to be the one that blinks. I thought I saw a truck blinking. Take a look here at Matthew Erickson. He's going to go into turn 1. There's a blink. There's another blink. 28 gets a little sideways. A little too much throttle there on exit, too much wheel. Cuts across the 46's nose into the fence. Tough deal for those drivers there at the back of the field. We're going to take a step back, go side by side with you. You're not going to miss any pit stops, any action. We'll be back here in just a moment for Tier 1 Truck Series action.
At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready?
All right, we are back. Bill Sleep from 14th came down to pit road. You have Matthew Erickson still on pit road making repairs to the number 28 machine, as well as Jared Hayes. He is on his way out of pit road. So 3 cars venture on down and get repairs to their vehicles. Trucks have come around the loop. You can see the lights are on the pace truck. So we're going to go around one more time. So far, we have a biggest mover of the race, and believe it or not, it's our in-race reporter, Eric Howard. He's sitting P10 right now, +7 from where he began. He said he wanted to wait until about 15 laps have gone by in order for him to get up into the top 10, and it took him 2 corners because of other people's misfortune. But Eric making some quick progress through the field. He's going to be on the outside of the 5th row. Meanwhile, back up front is Greg Wood Jr. Not a lot to really know in terms of how your truck is going to handle, maybe other than that load-bearing sensation as the truck goes from being plastered down onto the asphalt, then sort of lifting up off the ground and getting that loose sensation off. I think part of that was Matthew Erickson's problem in his race machine, as he was trying to put maybe a little too much throttle, too much wheel into it, the back end of the truck lifted up. Remember, these drivers may practice, but they don't practice together in a group like this. This is their first time out on track with this many drivers disturbing this much air around all of them. So Greg Wood Jr. is going to be leading them off into turn 1 once again with Caleb Collins to his outside. The front row has not changed. Big mover up here into the outside of the 2nd row is Dakota Ramsdale. Watch that 83 truck make some moves. He was a big dodger and weaver early on, but it'll be the driver of the 67 Toyota leading them back to green. And it is Greg Wood Jr. leading the field. Moves up to get his teammate Caleb Collins. You can see a lot of pool here already. They just started rolling, and the draft plays a huge, huge factor. Barreling down into turn one. Collins going to try to get the run on the high line. Get Jordan Baroob. It will not happen. Baroob gets a great launch off the corner and is going to try to side draft that 72 machine. He's going to go up and push his teammate. Baroob going to get that air taken off that front nose, making that truck tight. You have to drive where they ain't here at Auto Club, and Baroob really making hay on that low line in 3 and 4. It will be Wood, Baroob, and Collins, your front three, and now we're going to go 3 wide for the lead here on lap 6. Caleb Collins going to bury that 72 truck onto that low line. Who will prevail? It might all come down to where the 83 is going to wind up. 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead, and the deciding factor is Dakota Ramsdell there in 4th. Cars on the inside struggling without draft help. Collins goes back, and there it is, a little bit of a hit. Can he save it? He saves it. Greg Wood Jr. slides into turn 3. Yellow flag is out. Under any other circumstances, I think that collects a lot of race trucks. And Greg Wood Jr. gets a little bit of a bump. We'll have to actually see if this was net code between the 22 and 67. But you can see here the 22 really committing, trying to bury that truck into the corner like he did before, and just doesn't get started on entry. I think I see a gap between the 22 and 67 here on this replay, but you kind of expect the guy to your inside to really go in on corner entry a little bit sooner. But what a save. Look at Eddie Baker, Nolan Milnes up there sideways to get around him. Great wreck avoidance from everybody there. Good job to bundle it all up from Greg Wood Jr. Get a closer look here. See if we can't find a little bit of air between these two drivers. See 67, he's fading a little bit. He's trying to make some room to get into the corner, and his entry is much sooner. They would have hit anyway, but there is air between the two drivers. Look how long this 67 machine slides. Wow, Ramsdell gets a front row seat of all of that in the 83 machine. Chaos avoided from these drivers, and we do have some pit strategy here early on as some of your favorite drivers are down pit road. Milnes is down, Sumner's is on pit road, Eric Howard, our in-race reporter, on pit road. Jared Hayes, Matthew Erickson probably getting damage repaired. Stiddo. If you're a Paul Owens fan, I can imagine Paul disconnected due to connectivity issues. We saw that 30 machine blink going into turn 1 on lap 1. Now you can see Milnes, Sumner, Erickson. They've been on pit road for quite some time getting damage repaired. And away they go. Be really interesting to see the driver of the 94 move his way back up through the field. Sumner has been up front often at these Truck Series events, along with guys like Baker and Ramsdell. Baroob has thrown his hat into the ring. He's gotten a win. Really interesting here on lap 8. Drivers haven't really gotten into a rhythm quite yet. Continue to pace around here. Let's go through the field real quick to see where your favorite driver is. Baroob is holding down the number 1 position with Collins in second behind him. Dakota Ramsdell P3. Eddie Baker sitting in 4th. Greg Wood Jr. is in 5th. Timing and scoring can change now that they're double file. Kevin Coleman is 6th. Scott Milliken is in 7th. There's the driver 3 machine. Thomas Adams sitting in 8th. And as they currently run on track, they're switching positions right now. So Milliken to his outside, to his inside. Up here is Connor Elliott and the jump man, #1 machine. And then 10th, a guy who's been flirting on the inside of the playoff cut line is Dave Harrington. So these playoff battles right here, Bill Sleep, we talked about him and his playoff needs as well. Jared Hayes, a lot of these drivers fishing for points right now. Nolan Milnes. There's Justin Sumner all the way back here. Eric Howard, our in-race reporter, kind of back where he started in P15. Matthew Erickson continuing to work on that damaged 28 machine. Lights are off on the Page truck as they go 2 by 2 now. Lap 9 will turn into lap 10 here of this 80-lap event. We will go to lap 20, all the way through that lap to collect the stage. These drivers are rip-roaring and ready to go, I'm sure. Many in the field trying to get a rhythm going. It is so hard when a race starts out like this to find your groove and to get comfortable. Can these drivers here at Tier 1 overcome the clunky start and get into a groove? Only time will tell. Jordan Baroob will lead the field to green. 2 by 2 they come, and the 22 sits #1. Barreling down here into turn 1, that bottom lane getting a big old push from Dakota Ramsdell. Look at this, 3 wide for 3rd place now as Greg Wood Jr. making short time after his mistake, leading to the caution. Look at this camera angle as they are right up next to the fence. These drivers putting it so close to the outside wall. Jumping down into 3 and 4 now. Almost 3 wide for 2nd. Collins can't quite get the run on the high line. Tucks in back behind his teammate Baroob. Gonna cut down. I mentioned earlier, it's gonna feel like IndyCar at times with how the front car dives around, moves lanes, breaks up the draft. Baroob doing a great job early. Look at that long sweeping entry from the 22, maximizing corner entry speed. Meanwhile, you got guys up on the top trying to maximize exit speed. And then you got guys like that are hugging the bottom lane, like Thomas Adams back there in 7th. Here comes Greg Wood Jr. He's going to try to make a jump for the lead. Wasn't long, and the 67 truck is back to the point. Can he clear him? Yes, he can. Put Greg Wood Jr. back to the front here from Auto Club. Big push here from the 22 going down into turn 1. They're all going to mimic each other. And this is great racing right now. You see these trucks having to get out of the wake of the guy in front of you. Even if it's just a quarter of a car width, you're able to turn the truck so much better through the center of the corner if you're not directly in the tire tracks of the guy in front of you. Every single corner, every single lap, it's a whole new adventure trying to find your lane. And these drivers practice all of these lanes during the practice sessions Tier 1 offers. Breaking the draft, you can see it just kind of feels like Indy does it with Greg Wood Jr. breaking the field, but Baroob's not giving up. A big send here into turn 1 from the driver of the number 22 machine. Side by side, they go through the center of the corner, looking to get a good run off. Now the 22's got a side draft. You got to get bold. You got to hang on that rear quarter panel. He's trying to do that, barreling down the backstretch. He blinks out, blinks back in. Good for corner entry. Last time those 2 trucks were like that, we found chaos. These 2 now understanding how to work with one another. Crossover move to the start-finish line. Give that lap lead to Baroob as Greg Wood Jr. tries to fight back on the inside lane. Don't look now, but we have a new contender. Eddie Baker has found his way in the 84 truck to 3rd place, driving that high line. It didn't take long for the driver of the Sullivan Tire Machine to throw his hat in the ring. The top 5 have broken out from the rest of the field, as Kevin Coleman is the last driver in this group. Big jump up to the top from Baker. He's going to have the momentum coming out of turn 4. Baroob able to cut that off. The front 5 remain in single file. Sometimes these drafting games work out when you break the air in front of you, but you do lose time moving the truck back and forth. Baroob clear him coming off of 2. You got to get real close in side draft. Look at that, 4 against 1. That driver of the 22 has lost all momentum. He's got to try to bury it here to turn 4 if he wants to complete the pass. Right down next to that white line, the 22 makes a move. Can he clear the 67 off of turn 4? Yes, but the crossover move from Greg Wood Jr. all the way down to the yellow, or to the white line rather. To give that lap led to the 67. These two drivers trading spots one after another, and it's Eddie Baker that's got a front row seat to all of it, sitting back here in 3rd place. 67 drifts up the racetrack on exit. That'll give a little bit of daylight to the 22, thinks better of it. Look at the onboard here from Eddie Baker as he's got a front row seat to all of it. A little scuff on the wall from the 22 on corner entry. Look at this truck get tight on exit, running right into the tire tracks of the 22. Eddie's got some company to his inside. That's Caleb Collins. You got to be aware of where trucks are around you, as everybody's different as they make their way around Auto Club. Collins under attack now from the driver of the 00, Kevin Coleman. He's +3 from where he started tonight. Driving that top line and getting the toe down the backstretch, give the advantage to the driver of the 00. The group back behind this one sits about 1.2 seconds away from the front group that's led by Scott Milliken. These two are just relentless, crossing each other up, trying to put on a great display of racing. They got into each other early, but I think these two have figured each other out in terms of who likes to go into corner entry, where's your braking point, how you're going to launch the truck into the corner. Take some time to really learn the personalities of the drivers here. Can the 22 clear him? Wood into the wall. He's able to save it. Barreling down the backstretch, he will have the draft help of Eddie Baker. And that's the perk of being on that high line. If you mess up on exit, you have help coming. And you just saw it materialize there coming off of turn 2. Side by side, they continue to run. Coming out of turn 4, Baroob at a disadvantage with no help. Lined up 4 deep on the outside lane. Side drafting as much as he can. Baroob trying to do everything he can as we are at lap 19. Lap 20. The completion of this lap will award stage points. Every position matters. We talked about how Greg Wood Jr. is the line for the playoffs right now. A stage win would be huge for the driver of the 67. But don't count out Eddie Baker. The completion of the next lap concludes the stage. Baker barrels it down into 3 and 4 with a great crossover move on the 22. Baker gonna try his hand at the front. Almost gets into him. They're side drafting each other. They touch. This is gonna be for the stage win. These drivers trying to put it all on the line right now. Baker trying to stay high, gain as much momentum as possible, keep the 22 at bay, and use him as draft help down the backstretch. Tucks in line as the top 5 continue to run nose to tail. Caleb Collins bounces out. He wants a slice of this. Who will win stage 1? Greg Wood Jr. running a defensive line in front of Eddie Baker. Caleb Collins making a play for 3rd place, and it will be the driver of the 67, Greg Wood Jr., give him stage 1. As Eddie Baker, Jordan Baroob, and Caleb Collins round out your top 4. And right at the end of this group is Kevin Coleman sitting in 5th. What a great run from this top pack. Other drivers throughout your top 10, Scott Milliken 6th, Dakota Ramsdale 7th, 8th is Justin Sumner. Jared Hayes is 9th and 10th. I think we'll go to Nolan Milnes. If not, 9th and 10th are swapped with Milnes in 9th and Hayes in 10th. Wow, what a drive from the top 5. Putting on a show. We're spoiled here in the Tier 1 studio booth. These drivers are certainly putting on a show for all of you. But you know what? This isn't the only thing that Tier 1 does. Tier 1 is getting ready for Season 2 of the ARCA series. THDesigns ARCA series is almost here of Season 2. We're accepting new drivers, and our next recruitment race is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss your chance to compete in a 10-race, fully broadcasted season with some of the best in iRacing. Join our Discord or visit our website for more details. That is the THDesigns ARCA series. Yes, Tier 1 has a lot going on. There's certainly going to be a lot more content coming your way here from Tier 1 Studios. If you want to peek at the ARCA series, we're recruiting, of course, for Season 2. Some awesome tracks on that schedule. I'll talk to you more about that at pit stop. These drivers are making their way down the road. Everybody coming down. Let's see what your favorite driver does here on pit road. Races are won or lost here. You already know track position tonight. Getting into your stall cleanly is paramount here at Auto Club. Brett's favorite tool, the pit road ticker. Going on, Jared Hayes with a 7.4 pit stop. Caleb Collins, 8.8. Those drivers, more than likely, are going to try 2 tires on for size. It'll be Caleb Collins and Jared Hayes leading them off of pit road with Greg Wood, Jordan Carew, and Eddie Baker routing out your top 5. Let's try to bring up the driver. That is our in-race reporter tonight. He's sitting 8th. Eric Howard. It's Zach up at the booth. You have a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Hey, man. For a moment there, after one lap, you already achieved your goal. You were sitting like 10th. Talk to the fans about your night so far.
Well, yeah, I got up there. I was like, yeah, I'm up here where I said I was going to be. I went ahead and pitted with that wreck because I was worried about long fuel runs. So, you know, I'm new to it, so I'm still learning the ins and outs. If I'd have stayed on the track, I'd have been fine. But 13th coming in, coming out in 8th now for this pit. I'm happy right now. So, still got a long way to go, but I think we'll be all right.
Well, the 2 drivers up front, we think up in the booth, they took 2 tires. So just be aware that you got some unexpected company sitting in the front row that might have a little trouble on this restart. Eric, can you tell the fans at home what's the estimated fuel run that we can expect for these trucks tonight?
You get it probably about, well, if we stay green, you get 20 laps. And,
okay.
Yeah, by then you're going to want tires too. So it'll be tricky.
All right, Eric. Well, we're going to let you go back down to your group, and good luck here in Stage 2.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
That's Eric Howard, our in-race reporter, going to try to capitalize on what will almost certainly be a chaotic restart here with Caleb Collins trying out 2 tires, and Jared Hayes as well up here on the front row. If you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe, not just to this video, but for everything Tier 1 Studios winds up doing. Like I said earlier about the ARCA series, it's going to feature some awesome races here coming up soon. You're not going to want to miss a thing here from Tier 1. Certainly a league on the rise, and one that's putting on some great action. We're about to see some more with 2 drivers who I guess aren't afraid of loose race trucks in Caleb Collins and Jared Hayes. They will be leading the field to green as lap 24 will turn into lap 25. It is Caleb Collins controlling the field. Let's see if there's any wheel spin here off the front row. Hayes does not get a great restart. Got to stack up that top line, and Greg Wood Jr. instantly goes up and takes advantage. Going to try to beat to the outside of his teammate. Now crosses over all the way down to the inside line. We're 4 wide here for 4th place. We're all going to keep it underneath us as Hayes free falls through the field right now. Can we mitigate some damage? Wow, as Kevin Coleman goes 3 wide here, looking for 4th place, burying it down into turns 1 and 2. Hey, look at this. The driver of the 94 machine, Justin Sumner. I said, don't you forget about him. He's going to come up through this field. He's doing it, knocking on the door at the top 5. And look at this, Baroob all the way to the apron, looking to make it 3 wide here for second place. Meanwhile, back up front, you have a pass for the lead with Eddie Baker going to the inside of Greg Wood Jr. Continuing 3 wide action here as these drivers trying to sort themselves out. Ooh, Sumner getting into the back of Kevin Coleman, flying down the backstretch. Huge bump draft going into turn 3. No worse for wear, although the action is packed right now. For anybody wondering, Jared Hayes, who took 2 tires, started second. He's 10th on the grid. You can see Caleb Collins on your screen. He's fighting on the outside lane, trying to not fall outside the top 10. Meanwhile, here, the battle for the lead continues with Eddie Baker running that low line, that high arc into turn 1 and turn 2 is the benefit of Greg Wood Jr. as he comes screaming to the back of Baker's truck. A Toyota peeking to the inside, looking to make a move here into turn 3. We should expect that 67 car to bury it down there. Meanwhile, Coleman blocking both lanes, trying to play defensive between 2 of the strongest Truck Series competitors we have in the field tonight. Jordan Baroob and Justin Sumner knocking the door down here on the top 3. The battle continues to rage up front with Greg Wood Jr. and Eddie Baker, as the battle is now for 5th between the 94 and 22 machine. Gotta be patient here. Remember how the field spread out. You want to be able to be in a good position to put your truck in, as you can already see a gap, really, between 8th place, I think, 8th place Thomas Adams and Scott Milliken behind him. So again, that gap already starting to form, as we have a 7-car, maybe an 8-car breakaway in that front group here towards the back end of the top 10. These drivers are trying to hold on. Back up front, the battle continues to rage for the lead. Greg Wood Jr. continuing to cross over Eddie Baker 1 lap after another. The battle now is for 3rd place between the man who we said at the top of the show not to forget about, Justin Sumner, with no draft help, going down here into 3 and 4, trying to make his way out, and we have a caution on the racetrack. Let's take a peek at what happened here. I believe this might be the last car in that front group. Thomas Adams blinking out, might have a connectivity issue. Normally, wow, violent hit to the inside fence. That's what happens when you see a truck sort of meander into the field. I don't know if he lost connection to his steering wheel or what. It could be literally anything and everything in terms of hardware going haywire. Just trying to figure out some connectivity issues for some of these drivers out here. You've seen some blinkers out here tonight. Tier 1's trying to do a pretty good job at regulating that, but we know life sometimes gets in the way. Here at Tier 1 Studios, we are certainly aware that those conditions exist. Our producer, Brett, he works away from home often and finds himself in hotels with pretty spotty Wi-Fi. So these drivers have look at them playing games. Oh, even making the caution laps entertaining. Good job, guys. As I was saying, you know, we here at Tier 1, we understand here in the booth that sometimes life comes at you sideways. The internet ain't working like it's supposed to. There's lots of grace involved with blinkers out here, because we here up in the studio, we sometimes run into that as well. And we want you to know we try to put on as good of a show as we possibly can, given the connectivity issues that we here in the booth have. So anybody that might be experiencing any kind of issues from our end, we apologize, but you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and we try to do our best with the cards that we're dealt, as I'm sure many of these drivers understand. Especially, it looked like in terms of that wreck, the driver of the 25, Thomas Adams. Matthew Erickson still is on pit road getting damage repaired to that 28 machine from that lap 1 caution. Drivers that came down pit road again is the driver of the 46, Jared Hayes. He's bailing on that 2-tire call. So he has the freshest tires in the field, pitting here at lap 30. But honestly, this has been a great race so far. Started out pretty rocky, but ultimately they figured it out, went green for a while. And if it wasn't for connection gremlins, I think we'd still be green right now. I want to talk to you a little bit more about this ARCA series I mentioned earlier. There's so many great tracks that are on deck here for Season 2. July 8th will be our first race from Daytona. Then you have some awesome tracks with USA, Charlotte, Myrtle Beach. You got Phoenix, Texas, Richmond, Dega, Watkins Glen, and Kansas. So this race season goes from July 8th to September 16th if you're interested in a league that is not going to take up your entire calendar year. We recommend you go and finding Tier 1 Discord and get plugged in to the ARCA series that is on its way. THDesigns ARCA series right around the corner. Recruitment race tomorrow. Our focus now turns to the truck series as these drivers continue to jockey for points. Remember, stage will end at lap 40. So these drivers have a lot to play for right now, as 32 will eventually turn into 33 when we go green. Thomas Adams did have connection issues. He manually disconnected. Now he is back in the session. Of course, we'll be many laps down at this point. But your front row is starting to become a very familiar sight tonight. It is subject to change, though. We got some big players further on back trying to make their way through the field. But right now, it's your pole sitter continuing to lead the field to green. It is Greg Wood Jr. in this 67 Toyota. He's got control. And now he's off and away. He spins his tires on the start, saves it. Look at that. Warden tires here from Auto Club certainly can play a factor. No worse for wear as the field barrels down into 1 and 2. Evan Coleman looking to drive that white line. That 00 Old Bay machine's going to try to make the move. He does. Slams the door there on Eddie Baker. Moves the 00 up to P2. He's going to get some help. Can he make a run going into 3 and 4? Look at that 00 early entry into the corner. A little sideways there. Can he keep it underneath him? Yes, they can. Greg Wood Jr. wants to go back-to-back stage winners. He's only got a handful of laps to make it happen as the field not really as spaced out as we've seen it before. Coleman throws it into turn 1. Can he get the momentum off to complete this pass on the 67? Nope, but he gets to slide right back in. Look at Greg Wood Jr. breaking up the draft now down the backstretch. No ground gain. Can Coleman figure it out, trying to make his way into playoff contention? These drivers know that points are so valuable at this point in the season, and a stage win would be enormous for both drivers that are sitting P1, P2 right now, ahead of the 3 drivers who've really headlined a lot of the action over these last handful of weeks here from the Truck Series. Look at this, a move to the inside now from Baker. That's going to limit what Coleman can do. Eddie Baker trying to go from 3rd to 1st in a span of 2 corners. Can't make it happen right here. Can he get a quarter panel? No. Coleman now going to side draft. Slide up. There's a bump from the 94. Great shots right here from the studio. Look at them all dodging and weaving, trying to outwit each other going into turn 1. Baker trying to roll the bottom while Greg Wood Jr. going to depend on that high lane. No help coming yet as drivers side by side, and look at Coleman get hit by Sumner. He saves it from P4. Look at Sumner peeking to the outside, not quite clear. Oh, look at this, Bill Sleep now sideways. Bill Sleep in the infield. That happened off the nose. I think it might have been Milliken, but this actually happens because Coleman is still free-falling through the field at the moment. You're going to see they're going to catch this 00 car pretty quickly. And back up front, side by side, lap 37. Eddie Baker is relentless. We've seen that Sullivan tire machine be so dominant over the last few weeks. But he's got to contend with the pole sitter tonight, and he doesn't give up very easily. Greg Wood Jr. to his inside, going to get this great side draft. They touch. They continue to bang doors going into turn 1. Barub thinking about making it 3-wide action here on lap 38. Greg Wood Jr. able to fend off this charge from Eddie Baker. Barub now peeks to the inside as the front two now have draft off each other. Coleman in the fence back behind. We continue racing. Jordan Barub now going to try his hand as Greg Wood Jr. gets a shove from Baker going into the corner. That's going to upset the balance of his truck. Can he clear them both? No. Baker looking to the inside. It's not going to work. 3 wide for the lead here at the line. Lap 39 now as the leaders continue to jockey for stage points. And look at this, Jared Hayes, who is down on pit road. On lap 30 with the freshest tires in the field, can this driver get a stage win? He's going 3 wide down the backstretch. Will the Superflu machine stick? Peeking to the inside of 22, he's going to have to get some help from the 94 if he wants to make a run at Greg Wood Jr. This is exactly what the 67 wants to see in his mirror as we catch lap 40. The completion of this lap will determine the stage. Can the driver who bid it on lap 30 come up through the field, pass everybody, and snag a stage victory? Throwing it into turn 1 and turn 2. Look at this action. Barreling down the backstretch they come. Not a lot of draft help, but the 46 with the freshest tires in the field, looking to make a move here on Greg Wood Jr. Jr.'s going to close off the lane. That 46 machine's going to roll the center a lot better. And an on center off. I don't think it'll be enough as a 22 in the fence. There's the block from the 67. They touch! They touch! They're sideways across the line. And I think we're going to have to go back to replay in terms of how we're going to divvy out stage points. Look at this. These drivers fighting for the stage win. Oh my goodness. This is just for the stage. And I think we're going to give it to Greg Wood Jr. sideways across the line. Yeah, look at this angle right here. Look at the 67. He's going to get sideways, save it, boom, across the line first. 46 will be second, 22 will be third. Oh my goodness. Of course, iRacing timing and scoring is going to be a little different because we throw the yellow flag, not at the moment where these trucks pass the start-finish line, but that's where they're going to be scored in terms of point standings. So if you're wondering about how we get to this place with your favorite driver, just know that we have a live race control. He throws the yellow. That's Devin Lockridge. He does a great job up at race control, but it doesn't necessarily translate over to points in terms of where we throw the caution flag here. It's when they cross the start-finish line, the completion of that lap. So we're going to give that stage win over to Greg Wood, even though he's sitting 5th right now on the board. Timing and scoring is going to put him back there because of the wreck at the line. Jared Hayes flying up through the field. Those guys got physical at the end. Created some great action. as your favorite drivers are making their way down pit road. Baroob, Hayes, Baker, Sumner, Wood Jr., Ramsdell, Milnes, Elliott, Milliken, and Coleman. Your 10 as they run right now. Remember, Wood and Hayes 1-2 in the stage. Now what do you do in terms of pit strategy? We saw drivers take 2 earlier. It didn't really work out at all. Greg Wood Jr. going to be buried, I think, a little bit back in traffic simply because of timing and scoring. All these pit times look like 4 tire stops. Wow. Oh, and away we go. Sometimes we're really thankful that trucks wind up phasing in and out of each other on pit road. But look at this exit here from Wood Jr. as that wrap surgeon machine just flings it out, warps inside the 94. No worse for wear for either of those drivers. Baroob is going to win the race off pit road with Bakers and Hayes behind them. Let's bring up our in-race reporter, Eric. It's Zach up in the booth.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, man. You're sitting back here in 12th. You have some drivers having some misfortune in front of you. You're taking care of that 76 truck. How'd stage 2 work out for you?
A little slow on my end. I'm trying to stay up, trying to figure out how I can get some speed to catch up and do some passing, but if I do that, I'm eating up my tires. So it's a chess match to me, trying to just get up there and stay up there with them. As long as I can stay up tucked in behind, I'll be all right, I feel.
Well, the name of the game right now seems to be just to simply stay out of trouble, and you're doing a pretty good job. So kudos from us to you. Keep that truck clean. You're going to be now embarking on the longest stage of the night, so maybe that long run speed's going to start paying off for you.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they eat their tires real quickly now too, and I can start really making a move to the front.
All right, Eric. Good luck here.
Thank you.
We want to thank our in-race reporter, Eric Howard, for being a great sport. We want to make sure we get a bunch of different drivers up here in the booth. And Eric was said at the top of the show when I asked him about coming up, he said, well, I don't really know what to do. I said, man, just be honest about your race. That's all we want. I mean, that's all the fans want to hear. We want to know what drivers are experiencing out there. And he certainly has experienced a lot tonight and seen a lot of action. We'll keep an eye for you out on our in-race reporter as the night continues to wear on. 2 by 2 they are, getting ready to go green here as 44 will turn into 45. The driver of the 84, Eddie Baker, sharing the front row with the driver of the 22, Jordan Baroob. Baroob is going to look to have control of this start. Let's see if anybody spins their tires here. Cold tires, keep your wits about you as the green flag is back out here from Auto Club. Top lane really didn't get going. Advantage Baroob on the outside lane now. Gonna try to wrap that high line. Nope, he's gonna dive it down low right next to the dagger cam in turn 1. Drivers jockeying for position, trying to outduel one another, flying off of turn number 2. Give the advantage to the driver of the 22. Has flexed his muscles over the last few weeks. Oh, Hayes getting a bit of aero tightness getting into the 94. 94 going to give a shove to his championship rival, the 84, as they chase at the front of this pack. Greg Wood Jr., who's worked his way from about, 5th, 6th position all the way up to 2nd here pretty early on. He's going to set his sights on the leader. The guy we really haven't mentioned a whole lot tonight is Dakota Ramsdell in the 83 machine. He's been hanging around this top 5 for most of the night, top 5, top 7 machine. Now look at this long run speed. Let's see what that big Tex machine is able to do. Got Milliken there in the 3 with a good run tonight as well. The sun glaring off the tops of these trucks as they make their way around this track. I'm sure that's not a fun drive for some of these drivers who have that graphic setting on. And look at this, our in-race reporter is sideways into the fence. No, Eric Howard. And I think he got some help. Oh no, it's two of my favorite drivers, at least for tonight. Jumpman Connor Elliott. Ooh, gets into 76, hard impact into the fence. That's really going to affect the right front of that 76 machine. You can see the damage there. We've seen worse from this Cam. We've seen tires folded up inside themselves, so not impossible damage, but at a track where aero is king. I'm sure Eric kicking himself right now. Nothing really he did there in terms of getting into that mess, but you can see left front also caved in. Substantial damage here on our in-race reporter. Oh, back up front. Two familiar foes, at least for tonight. We're going to be duking it out with Barub and Wood making up the front row. These drivers are really excited for the action that's ahead of them. Remember, fuel runs about 20 laps, at least according to our in-race reporter. So there's still some fuel games to be played tonight. Talked about at the top of the show, tire conservation and fuel payload are going to be ones to look out for. Jordan Barub from Spring, Texas. Sporting a whole bunch of different sponsors. We talked to you tonight about that. Barub's got one win on the season, so getting two would put him in some fair air here for the Tier 1 Truck Series standings, as Eddie Baker's the only driver in the field with more than one win. He's sitting at 3. You got Sumner, Barub, and Erickson sitting at 1 win apiece. Amazingly, Dakota Ramsdale, sitting 108 points above the cutoff line, has not won this year. So I'm sure he's real hungry for a win. Talked about Greg Wood Jr. being right on the cut line. Win could change his season. Guy like Jared Hayes, right now, he's 6th in points. He's 71 off from the cut line. He's sitting pretty good right now. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Also taking a look at a guy like Scott Milliken in the 3 truck. 3rd on that outside lane. 48 up from the cut line. He's 7th in points. Locking him in would be a huge night. Got some competitive racing left to go tonight. As here under yellow, we'll get lap 50 of this 80-lap event. But again, just you know, peeking through the field at some of these drivers that have had decent runs tonight. You know, the one machine. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Good catch by Brett over in production. This is Kevin Coleman in the 00 machine. This is going to be his 5th time down pit road. Let's see what he does. Sliding into his box. This looks to be a fuel-only stop for the driver of the 00. And he's off and away. See there, our stop graphic. So topping off right here, not a bad idea. You know, 20 laps is your payload. You got 50 laps in. That means you're, of course, simple math, 30 laps to the end of this one. Just means you put less fuel in it by the time you need to come down to pit road. Maybe that is the winning call tonight from the 00. And just looking at this list, I mean, Kevin is 17th in points, 35 from the cutoff. So a win would be huge for him. Meanwhile, back up front, these two drivers not unfamiliar with one another at this point. They've been attached at the hip for most of the evening. Greg Wood Jr. Now on the outside lane, we're going to hop on to the driver of the number 3 machine, Scott Milliken, sitting outside row 3. Let's get some perspective of a little bit deeper down in the field. Let's see what Scott can do here on this restart. Decent jump there from the inside lane, so you're going to see Scott more than likely try to get that run from the outside line. Peek his nose out here, make sure that truck rotates the corner. But really, that bottom lane tends to be king here, at least on the restarts. Scott holding strong here in 6th place. You can see that battle right in front of him between Hayes and Collins. Big jump into the entry of the corner here from Scott. He's got a good glimpse of this action. It's only he holds serve. Restart 6th. Is 6th through 1 lap. Got a big gap between him and the rest of the field. Oh, Scott's sitting in 7th. So, good restart there from the driver of the Tops machine. Meanwhile, back up front, the battle continues between the 67 and the 22 machines. What will happen as the laps continue to dwindle down? Look at Dakota Ramsdale in the 83 machine. We talked about how strong he's been tonight. A win would be amazing for his season. Wood slips up in line, leaves Ramsdale out to hang. Battle is now for 3rd place. Look at Ramsdale fling that truck down towards that white line, getting that truck to roll through the corner. The goal is to always be in front of Cleanly, the next guy on the inside line. I'm sure he was hoping it was going to come from Justin Sumner, but Sumner bebop to the outside lane. He's going to get a good view of this action for the lead. Greg Wood Jr. flings it down into turns 3 and 4. Can he clear the 22 on exit? No. 2 by 2, they continue to ride. 53 will turn into 54. Give that lap to the driver of the 22 machine. They make contact. Not only for 1st, but for 3rd. The action tonight has been palpable all through the field. These drivers unwilling to give any quarter to their competitors tonight. Ramsdale free falling with no drafting help. Who is able to break away? We really haven't seen a leader be able to just get out and leave while the rest of the pack battles. Hayes gets into the fence. Nobody's worse for wear. We continue running. Hayes into the fence again. Gathers it up underneath him. That's going to open the door for the driver of the 3 machine. Here comes Milliken. This is a battle for the 6th position. Milliken looking to complete the pass on exit. No. Lots of respect given there from the 3 machine as he finds himself back in line. He's going to get a push by Nolan Milnes down the backstretch. Big push by Nolan Milnes. Battle continues to be for that 2nd position, as Sumner has not climbed the summit just yet, but has now found himself in the top 3. He has slowly and methodically made his way through the field, but these 2 up front have been up front nearly all night long. Barube getting a challenge from Wood to the inside. Can't quite complete that look. Looking down the backstretch now, here comes Greg Wood Jr. Who's going to make a move? It will be Wood as he makes his way to the inside lane. I really think unless Sumner is willing to help on that inside line, that pass through 3 and 4 is so much harder to make than it is through 1 and 2. But look at Sumner. He's going to push Greg Wood Jr. Now Bales goes up to Barube. Is it going to be 3 wide? No. Sumner might get arrow tight here. Watch this. Hangs it on the quarter panel. 67 getting arrow loose. They're going to save it. Look at the action from the top 3. Barub gonna actually pick up Greg Wood down the backstretch. It's in his best interest that they remain battling. Ramsdale says, I'll help you with that as he flings it into turns 3 and 4. 3 wide for second place. Working up the hill, these drivers trying to stay off of each other. Side drafts are enormous here as you put now Justin Sumner to the second position. And the drivers that started on the front row tonight, the 67 and 72, are now getting a dose of who has been the heaviest hitters through the last handful of weeks here at Tier 1 Truck Series action. It has been Barub, Sumner, and Ramsdale for so long, and their iron grasp on the momentum of this league continues to stay firm. Look at Sumner with the power move in 3 and 4 on the low lane. He's able to clear the 22, the 94 to the point here at Auto Club for the first time tonight. Getting a big push now from Barub all the way down the front stretch and into turn 1. They have given the 94 the lead. What is he going to do with it tonight? We've seen nobody really been able to skedaddle away from the field. Battle here for third between Ramsdale and Wood. Now turns into a battle for fourth between Ramsdale and Collins. Ramsdale going to settle here into 5th place. These drivers are now positioning themselves towards the pit window with 10 laps left. Oh my goodness gracious, drivers zigging and zagging. Give me a chance to tell the viewers what's going on. The pit window is coming up. So positioning on the racetrack really matters for these drivers. If it stays green, we're going to try to be diligent and give you the action on pit road, because what they do is really going to matter. We've seen that 2 tires is really a handful, but that might be the call these drivers are shoehorned into. You want to take the least amount of fuel as possible. You don't want to sit on pit road for too long. Oh, Wood hard into the fence. He's able to save it as we're down on the apron through the grass driving as the 22. As Caleb Collins now finds himself in third. Titletown teammates looking to gain some access towards the lead. Oh, last time Greg Wood took this line, it was trouble, and it's trouble for him again as he's able to keep that truck underneath him. Ramsdale really cut him a break there on exit, giving him a big push down the backstretch. Those drivers, I got to give a lot of credit there to Ramsdale. He really took care of Greg Wood there off of turn 2. All these drivers living to fight another day. It's crazy. Just a couple laps ago, we were just talking about how Sumner has the lead. Now he's back battling for 4th. Look at Greg Wood Jr. dive it down. He's going to grab the lead with that big dive, although that's really going to hurt his exit. He's into the fence. Is he going to get a push? Not really. No. Oh, no. Jared Hayes, Eddie Baker find themselves in calamity. And this all happens because the leader got tight coming out of turn 2, really killed his momentum, and look how the stack up happens behind him. You know, I really think they had it all under control. Greg throws a block, but the 90, just the dive, it's 2 separate incidences really that happen. You have Eddie Baker. Oh man, look at the 46 jump up in the air. Hard hit there. That's catastrophic damage to Eddie Baker. The 46 also hard into the inside wall. But let's take a look back at how this all jumbles up just real quick before the drivers go down pit road. Simply because there's really 2 separate incidences. The 94 is going to get a little bit of a block in front of him from Greg Wood Jr., who's trying to recover from a bad exit. Doesn't hit him. Oh, no. Oh, okay. I thought this stemmed from a bad bump. And I thought there were 2 separate incidences. I thought the 94 got into the back of Greg, got loose, hit the fence. So he's able to give the bump, but Eddie coming with a full head of steam, looking to shoot the gap. Gets the 94 into the fence. And then let's go over to Jared Hayes. Nope, we're down on pit road. Brett's made the call. We're down on pit road. This is the more interesting action anyway that needs to be covered for your favorite driver here, as we are now within 17 laps to go tonight. Greg Wood Jr. overshoots his pit stall. That's going to hurt a favorite of tonight. Look at all these drivers leaving pit road. Greg Wood Jr., big loser there on pit road. As Jordan Barube, Dakota Ramsdale, Caleb Collins, all with pretty good pit stops. We're going to have to check in terms of who did what and what happened. Just taking a look here on pit road for some of your favorite drivers that are still there. Justin Sumner on pit road getting damage repairs. Matthew Erickson really has never recovered from that lap 1 incident. Jared Hayes, Eddie Baker, and then our in-race reporter Eric Howard had that catastrophic damage earlier. He's been on pit road for about 14 minutes. So I think he's just working on making sure that's all done. Whew, everybody take a sip of water with me. Because if you thought the action was packed so far, you ain't seen nothing yet. These drivers up here are hungry for wins. Just a reminder of your standings and who up here hasn't won. I mean, Dakota Ramsdale, he's 5th in points. He has not won, although he has been up front so often all throughout the season. It would be huge for him to get the win tonight. And you have other guys that are scattered throughout this front group. Nolan Milnes, you got Caleb Collins up here sitting in P3. He's been strong tonight. I mean, there's just a lot of names that jump off the page. Kevin Coleman. We already talked about Milliken. This has now turned into, more or less, drivers who haven't won with a chance to lock their way into the playoffs. And the only guy that really stands in their way is Jordan Barube. All these drivers should be good on fuel if they took a full payload, which, judging by pit times, we can infer that, yes, that's exactly what they did. The pace truck is off. Side by side, they come to the start-finish line. Jordan Barube will be the one in control. Can any of these hungry drivers without a win wrestle one away here at Auto Club? 15 laps to go. Who is going to make the daring move? We haven't really talked about Nolan Milnes tonight, as he makes his way up into P3. Big bump there into Dakota Ramsdale. Caleb Collins got loose on exit. He's fallen through the field, has found his place in line. Dakota Ramsdale to the inside. What can the driver of the 83 do? No help on exit. Will Milnes help? No. Drafting. Says Jordan Barube. You're not going to pass me by getting up to me next to my draft. I'm going to fling my truck anywhere you ain't. Side by side behind him for second place, Nolan Milnes has thrown his hat into the conversation. All the drivers back behind the leader have not won this season. Really? Through your top 10. The only one who has is your leader right now. These guys desperate to change the fate of their season. Chasing a guy who's been there, done that. 13 laps to go here from Auto Club. Is this the calm before the storm? Greg Wood Jr. says, no, I'm going to be the storm back here. He's got some time to make up. Look at the 67 machine dodge and weave. Fighting back, he's in 6th place. He slid through his pit stall on that last sequence. Really hasn't been able to make up ground since the restart. Tight there on exit. Move Milliken up to the 6th position. Jumpman Connor Elliott to his outside as the top 3-4 remain single file. Milnes looking. He's going to get cut off by the 22. Ramsdell going to try to do everything he can to get that big text machine up to the front. Ducks in line. The 2 drivers behind the leader not working together. Both eager for a win, needing it arguably more than the 22 machine. Side by side is the battle for 2nd place. Tight on exit will be the 11. And the help. Oh, there's a bit of a shove. Each driver hungry for the draft of the 22. 11 laps to go. That 22 has been so good. We've said it over the last few weeks at short run speed. He got a short run plopped right into his lap here at the end of this one. What can he do? Looking to evade the 2 competitors behind him going down the backstretch, just having a little bit of a gap while these 2 continue to race side by side. Ramsdell trying to complete the pass. He's going to have a little bit of draft here on the exit, and the 22 strategically tries to move away to keep these 2 competitors side by side. I think Ramsdell's going to clear him. He will. Ramsdell now puts his sights on the leader with 10 laps to go. He has been so close so many times through this season. What can the driver of the 83 machine do in the last 10 laps to capture a victory? Hit the wall going into turn 3 isn't going to help, buddy. You gotta find some time. Nobody behind you is going to help you. All these drivers back through the top 10, back through the top 9 rather, have not won this year. All of them eagerly wanting to punch their ticket into the playoffs. Is anybody willing to make up any kind of ground on the leader? Barub doing a great job at breaking the draft. Single filed out. Here with 9 to go. You gotta hit your marks. You gotta try to make up as much time as possible while walking that razor's edge between efficient lap time and truck stability. But that 22 has been electric on short run speed. The gap, 0.2 of a second between first and second. Ramsdell had a good lap that last time around, within a truck length of the leader. So close he can almost reach out and touch the back bumper of the 22. With 8 laps to go, we now turn our attention to 7 laps to go. Can Ramsdell make up any kind of time? Baru changing his line in 1 and 2. He was running that top line, then he just changed it there. Gonna try to keep Ramsdell honest. And if you're the leader, you gotta do that. You can't be predictable right now. Take away the air of the truck behind you. Make him tight on exit. That's exactly what he did through 3 and 4. The gap continues to be 0.2 of a second between first and second. Ramsdell inching closer and closer. He has not won this year, much like many of the competitors behind him. Greg Wood Jr. has made the pass for 4th. with 6 laps to go. Is it the driver of the 67 that comes up here and snags a win? Time's running out. Ramsdell pounding the back bumper of Berube. The gap at the line is 1.7 seconds, inching closer and closer with 5 laps to go. He's been doing a good job at hitting his marks, and he's going to send it here in turn 1, trying to make the pass. Side by side down the back stretch now. You got to be aggressive with the side draft. Not going to work. He's going to tuck in back in line. That's the first time this run Ramsdell's been able to do something like that, but now that brings up Nolan Milnes back behind him. If you're going to make a move, you have to know it's got to work, because you don't have a lot of time to reel him back in. The gap now 0.15 seconds. Half a car between first and second. Up to the high line now. Ramsdell going to try to get the run off the corner. Lap traffic will play a factor as Jared Hayes is in front of this group. 4 laps to go. Can Berube keep the playoff field at bay? Good defensive line from the 22. This might hurt the 30 or the 83 on exit. It will. Opening up the door for Milnes. Getting in the back bumper of the 83, and that's exactly what Berube needed. Catching the lap truck at a bad spot. Ooh, Greg Wood Jr. got into the back of Kevin Coleman there. Everybody no worse for wear. 3 laps to go. The battle is now for second. This is exactly what Berube wants as he's able to skedaddle away from the field. Side by side, the Toyota and Chevy make contact going into turn 3. But Nolan Milnes to second place as he's able to slam the door on Dakota Ramsdell. In order to get to the leader, you gotta work together. What will happen between second and third to catch Berube? Defensive line there from Milnes, but he's not clear the 83 truck. And he makes that lane work there, 1 off the wall. Big run here, big push here from the 83 machine to the 11 down the backstretch. The gap, 0.4 of a second with 2 laps to go going into 3 and 4. Great corner there from Milnes. And the caution is out. The caution is out. This will bring about a green-white checkered as we were about to get the white flag. This is exactly what Berube didn't want to see, and this was a battle for inside the top 10. And oh my goodness, the 66 up in the air off the front nose of the 1 machine. What exactly happens here? These two battling it out, going down the back stretch. And now, 66 tries to fade, gets into the 1. Dave Harrington and Connor Elliott getting into one another. Now the big question, who pits? As all these drivers back behind the 22 have not won a race this year. Back to, I believe Matthew Erickson in 8th. Who pits? Oh, no one pits. Caleb Collins coming down pit road from the 7th position. He will be followed by Justin Sumner, who has damage in that 94 truck. Oh my goodness. I mean, we saw earlier in the race Jared Hayes make up a bunch of time on fresh tires. But in a green-white checkered scenario, I think you kind of hoped that more would come down. On pit exit, it looks like Caleb Collins will be scored 11th Now, chaos can happen, right? We've talked about cold tires tonight on restart, but we've also talked about used tires on restarts. So it's not a guarantee that either one of these drivers on the front row is going to wind up winning this race. You got to get through the gears right, make sure their tires grip the racetrack well. Again, just to paint the picture for anybody that is watching, for the greater context of Tier 1 Truck Series, this race is huge for so many. Barub sitting at a win already this year. 2 would put him in rare air as the only other driver other than the points leader with more than 1 win. Milnes, Ramsdell, Coleman, Greg Wood Jr., Scott Milliken, Bill Sleep in 8th, Connor Elliott in 9th, and Dave Harrington in 10th. All of those drivers have not won. All of these drivers are looking to make their way into Tier 1 Truck Series playoff action. This restart is huge for all those drivers that I just mentioned. As the caution has been extended by 1 lap. Now going 2 to green. With some guys still on pit road trying to catch the field. But the reality is that so many of these drivers have the chance to change the trajectory of their season tonight by snagging a win away from the 22. And the 22 has not been the most dominant car of tonight. We've seen the lead really change hands a lot between numerous drivers tonight. We've seen Greg Wood Jr. up front. We've seen Barub up front. We saw just a little bit of a stretch with Justin Sumner up front. Some of these drivers have been swapping leads between one another. We saw Jared Hayes at one point contend for the stage victory. So with no clear truck that has just been able to just walk out here and dominate Auto Club, everything's on the table for all of these drivers who have not won quite yet. I want to talk to you about what Green White Checkered Racing is all about here from the Tier 1 studio. Green White Checkered simply means we're going to go green with the hopes of getting the white flag the next lap and the checkered flag the lap after that. If there's a yellow in the process of that green flag lap before we get the white flag, we'll rack them up again and we'll get ready to make another attempt at a green white checkered. Tier 1 Truck Series has 2 attempts at a green white checkered. We hope that we are able to see some awesome racing throughout this last duration of this race, because this field has put on a heck of a show tonight all throughout this 80 lap event. We're going into Truck Series overtime and we're getting ready to go to green. Fuel also, if you think about it, might be an issue. Lots of these drivers pitted on lap 63. Again, with a 20 lap payload, caution flags do help, but if you go into another green white checkered, it might get sketchy for some of these guys on fuel. 2 by 2 they come. Barub, been really good on restarts, looking to get a good jump from Nolan Milnes to the outside of the top lane. Not really formed up quite yet. Kind of a clunky, messy restart from both lanes, but Barub able to get the good jump off. What can the rest of the field do to secure their playoff fate? 22's been excellent on restarts all night long. Who from back behind is able to mount a charge? Will it be Nolan Milnes in the 11 truck, sitting in second place Or will it be the driver of the 83 machine, Dakota Ransdell? Through 3 and 4. All these drivers hoping to get the white flag. We will. As the 22 cuts across the line, but look at this crossover move from Nolan Milnes. They're going to make contact going into turn 1. Side by side, beating and banging off of one another. Can Milnes get the victory? He's going to be able to clear the 22 up here on exit. One final charge. Can Barub muscle back to victory? Or will we have a new winner here at Tier 1 Truck Series action? Look at Caleb Collins on fresh tires. Flinging it into 3 and 4. Collins would need another lap. Is he going to be able to pull it off? No. The door is slammed. Give the win to the driver of the number 11. Nolan Milnes gets his first victory here at Auto Club. Caleb Collins goes from 11th to 2nd, and he would have needed one more lap. Unbelievable. Milnes making that last second pass in the tri-oval to get the white flag sets himself up to secure the win. Milnes, Collins, Barub, Ramsdell, Coleman, your top 5, and we have a new winner here in the Tier 1 Truck Series. We're going to go side by side. You're not going to miss a thing here when it comes to the celebration of this first-time winner. We're going to get the guys up in the booth, and we'll be right back for post-race interviews.
At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week.
Welcome back to Tier 1 Truck Series action here from Auto Club. We are going to bring the winner of tonight's event, punching his ticket into the playoffs, Nolan Milnes. And Zach, what's up in the booth? You got a copy?
Sure do. What's up, guys?
Man, what a move in the tri-oval to get to the inside of the leader And then you had to fend off the guy that went from 11th to 2nd in a span of 3 laps. Talk to the fans out there about your last 3 laps of tonight's action.
Is that who finished behind me? I was wondering if anyone had fuel. Or tires there at the end. I mean, I only led 1 lap tonight, and it was the only one that mattered. I was just biding my time. I did what I basically always do at this track, or most tracks. I mean, I try and save tire. I try and treat them with, in a balanced way. That way they don't fall off. And I think it helped me there at the end. I got up there, and then I had stuff for the leader at the end. So.
Well, you stuck around, you kind of hang around, and the biggest narrative going into that last little stretch of racing, more so than just the last 3 laps, but really towards the end, was the fact that there was really only one driver in the top 10 that had the win in the bag, and that was Jordan in the 22 truck. And you and the rest of the top 10, we're all super hungry for a win. Did that really weigh on your mind there, especially in the green, white checkered? Like, if I win this, I punch my ticket.
Honestly, no, but this is probably just a me thing. I'm in a couple of leagues, and I don't really know I don't pay attention to the points until it's honestly a fault of my own. Like, this is sort of one of my faults, is I don't think about points when I should. So in my mind, all I was thinking was, I love this track. This is my favorite track. I love racing it. I mean, it makes for awesome slide jobs and racing and tire strategy and stuff like that. And like, as far as conserving and saving your right front, which I did. And I was just thinking, man, I want to go to California because I love this track. You know what I mean? But now that you mentioned that, yeah, I'm obviously very happy.
Well, you don't have to think about points. We up here in the booth, that's all we do. So you managed to get the win tonight. Do you have any thank you, sponsors, or shout out you want to give for this win here at Auto Club?
No, just, thanks to the league. It's a fun league. I obviously enjoyed the ARCA series. I did that. I'll be doing that again. And the trucks has been pretty fun. What else was I going to say? Whoever made the setup tonight, I forget his name, but it was really good. It was really, really fun. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Really, really fun. And what else? I had something else. Oh, just race control. He kind of got a hard time from everybody because he added a lap at the end and people were short on fuel. He didn't mean it. I know, like, people were giving him heck for that. I know he didn't mean it. So it's just, it was a good race though. I enjoyed it. So.
Well, we talked about it up in the booth. It would come down to fuel strategy. It'd come down to tires, and you treated your tires well, had enough gas at the end, had just enough tires to fend off the guy that took 4 there right at the end. But you did a great job tonight, Nolan. Go and enjoy this win, man.
Sure. I'll give one little secret away to everyone just because I think why not? I think people should know it. I added a full tank of fuel. Now, these aren't big tanks, but because it's a shorter load compared to like a full tank. But when you add more fuel, it gives you more rotation, which we needed tonight. And it also brings the spoiler down. So when you're at a track like this, you get a little bit faster in the straight line. I had like 3 or 4 extra gallons. I think it helped me, and I didn't have to worry about it at the end. So yeah, a little PSA for everyone, and they can use it,
That a gracious winner that's able to share his tips. Good job, Nolan. Go and enjoy this one.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, that was Nolan Milnes able to secure his first win of the year. He's able to go from 14th in points to the first one locked in. Let's bring in a guy who certainly made the last 3 laps of this thing interesting. Caleb Collins, you got a copy?
I got you, boys.
Well, I'm not going to lie. You went down pit road, and I said, there ain't no way he's got enough time to do what I think he wants to do. And you almost proved me wrong. Talk to the fans out there about your drive from 11th to 2nd in the green, white checkered.
Yeah, man. But the breadboard strategy almost paid off. I was with man, if I would have had one more lap. With like 10 to go, I thought that was dumb. I had a truck good enough to run at the front in stage 2 and stay up in the front. Had to get some damage repaired, which probably played a lot into it. And then again, same guy, just blocking for the sake of blocking. Got in my way going into 1 there on the white flag lap. So I couldn't really get the run off I wanted. And man, if I had just one more lap, I feel like there was
there was 3 big what ifs there that really threw a wrench in that whole thing, and I would have liked to win that, but good for Nolan. He really did a good job, and he's raced me pretty clean all season long, I feel like. So nice to see him get the win there, and glad at least if I couldn't get a win, I feel like we had a top 5 truck for sure. So finished in the top 5, good points day. All things considered, can't be too upset about it. Just bummed.
Yeah, super strong run from you. You were up front. A big storyline tonight was that we really had a run of 3 drivers over the last handful of weeks that have had a pretty good iron grip on what's been going on here at Tier 1 Truck Series. And with the 22, the 83, and the 94. And you and Greg and a couple other guys were kind of able to take it to him tonight. So really strong run tonight. Do you have any thank you, sponsors, or shout outs you want to give for this second place effort?
Yeah, well, you know me, I got to thank the good Lord first and foremost for giving me the means to have this hobby and enjoy it and have fun with the guys on a Monday night. Got to thank the missus for taking care of the kids and taking that on once a week or so, sometimes more than once a week, so that I can come out here and race. AW Workshop, if you want a really cool gift, something that'll outlive you, you can pass on to your grandkids. Look up AW Workshop on Facebook. Of course, you guys broadcasting always do a great job every single race you do, and hopefully I can maybe live up to that later on in the season here. And got to give a quick shout to RC too. I know he took a little bit of heat there at the end for just made a split-second decision what he thought he was doing right, and took a little heat for it. I think it kind of caught a couple guys off. One of them even being our teammate, but look, the guy, it's really hard to find a good RC these days for whatever reason. And the guy's been great all season long. So I know he's probably frustrated because he took some flack again from 1 or 2 people whose opinion I don't take very high stock in, is the most polite way I can put it. So I hope he doesn't take that too seriously. I know even Matt got screwed over by it, and he's like, yeah, that sucks, but it is what it is. So I hope one bad decision doesn't turn our RC sour on everything. So just wanted to give him a quick shout out because he's doing a great job all season long. So that's all. Thank you guys.
All right. Well, that's Caleb Collins, driver of the 72 machine. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's take a look at your finishing order for tonight's event. We could not get the driver of the 22 machine, Jordan Baroob, up here in the booth with us. Of course, lots of heartbreak there towards the end of tonight's event for Jordan, but could not get him up in the booth. But we're going to take a look now at maybe at the finishing results of tonight's event. Well, if they're not up on the screen, I can give them to you. There we go. There's a score in pylon. Good job. So we even got the finishing distances from all these guys. So Nolan Mills is gonna get his first win of the season, punch his ticket into Tier 1 Truck Series playoff action, with Caleb Collins finishing second, Jordan Baroob getting a third place podium finish. Dakota Ramsdale is going to finish fourth, with Kevin Coleman in fifth. Strong run by Scott Milliken in that 3 machine, finished in sixth, with Greg Wood Jr. finishing seventh. Bill Sleep, I told you, that driver of this 65 machine, just carefully plugging away right next to that cutoff line, doing what he needs to do, gets that 8th place finish. Justin Sumner rebounds from a late race caution to finish in the 9th position. Matthew Erickson finishing 10th. Connor Elliott in the Jumpman machine able to come across the line 11th. Jared Hayes 12th. Dave Harrington will round out your top 13 as drivers who made it around in terms of being under power. Eddie Baker will finish 14th. In-race reporter Eric Howard, we want to thank Eric for his time up in the booth in that 76 truck, will finish 15th. Thomas Adams rolls across the line 16th. Paul Owens with connectivity issues will finish last on the grid. Well, this one was a lot of fun, a lot of action from the guys over at Tier 1. We are so thankful that these guys put on a great league and a lot of hard racing here at Auto Club, but that's what makes this track special. Lots of driver personalities come out and nobody's able to give an inch in terms of whether it be a stage victory or the victory at the end of this one. We want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast presented by Tier 1 Setup Shop. Go find them for your iRacing setup needs. And here from the booth from Tier 1 Studios, we want to thank you for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and you won't miss anything that Tier 1 has to bring to the table. My name is Zach Woods, and for my producer, Brett Bullard, we want to thank you for coming. Everybody, have a good night. We'll see you next time out on the racetrack.